So, surface area of a pyramid. Now, what is the base of this pyramid? Looks like a square. Um, now, not all pyramids have square bases. It can be any shape, like this would be a hexagonal pyramid. To draw it, you just kind of make the shape and then just make lines going up. So that's a pyramid also. Okay. How did we usually find the area of like a hexagon? What formula did we use? Or an octagon or a regular polygon? 1/2 apothem perimeter. Okay. But if it's a square, it's just 5 times 5, right? Okay. But what shape are the lateral surfaces? What shape are these? Triangles. And how do we find the area of a triangle? Right. So it'd kind of be like this number times the height. Now the height of this triangle, is that the same thing as the height of the pyramid? The answer is no. The height of the pyramid would be probably about the best I could draw it. This line that goes from the vertex point straight down to the middle of the pyramid. So that's the height of the pyramid. So this line that comes out like this, the height of the triangle, we call it the slant height. And don't ask me why, but they use an L. So that's a cursive L, so it doesn't look like a 1. I think they just use a normal L, so it does kind of look like a 1. Okay, so the slant height kind of tells us the height of the triangle. So if you do, base times height divided by 2, but there's 4 triangles going around, so it'd be like that times 4. Okay, what this simplifies to though is like the base 5 times 4, that's basically the perimeter. And instead of using H for the height, because that's like the height of the prism, we'll use L for the slant height. So anyway, all that to say, this is the important part. For the lateral surface area of a pyramid, you do perimeter times slant height divided by 2. I'm going to do, let me write it with a times 1/2. 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height. Okay, so that's the lateral surfaces, the up and down sides. The area of the base just depends on what shape the base is. If it's a square or a rectangle, we do base times height. If it's a hexagon or octagon or something like that, 1/2 apothem perimeter probably. It's even possible to have a triangular base. I don't know if I want to try to draw that though, but there's lots of shapes the base could be. So this is the lateral area. So for the total surface area, you would need to do the lateral area plus whatever the base is, the base area. Unlike prisms, pyramids only have one base. So we don't need to multiply the bases times 2. You guys remember, I should have maybe started with this. How did we find the lateral surface area last week? Yes, good. Perimeter times height. So perimeter of the base times the height of the prism. That gives you all these side rectangles. So pyramids aren't that different, but instead of perimeter times height, it's perimeter times slant height, and you divide by 2, or multiply by 1/2. we're also doing cones, because cones and pyramids are kind of the same thing. What's the difference? They both come up to one point, but cones are circular on their bases, and pyramids are polygonal. Polygonal? Polygonal? I don't know. So they have straight edges. That makes it a pyramid. This makes it a cone. Let's see. So how would we find the base of the cone? Pi r squared, right? Because it's a circle. And how would we find the lateral surface area? Kind of like cylinders from last week where we did circumference times height. But it's like, because it's like a triangle thing, even though these aren't, it's not really a triangle, it kind of is. It's 1/2 circumference times slant height. But the 1/2 and the 2 kind of cancel each other out, so it's just radius times pi times slant height. Very short formula. I wonder if what order did they write that in? They put pi r l, yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Usually we don't even plug the pi in, so. Okay. Trying to look, I give up. All right. Number 1 is matching. You guys probably, I doubt you'll need my help with this one, but let's do it anyway. I don't like it when they do this. So I guess I'll put 1A, and then we got to put the Roman numeral that goes with it. Probably been easier if they just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, segment FE is a what? You got to look at all those options. It's a what? Side of the base. You guys agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So 1A, V is the Roman numeral for 5. You guys remember Roman numerals? They occasionally show up on clocks, Super Bowls. For some reason, movies, when they put like what year it was made, they use it too. Like if you look really closely on the back of the DVD case or whatever. Don't ask me why. I think people think it's fancy or something. AF, segment AF is a what?
Lateral edge?
Yes, it is a lateral edge. That is option 3. Lateral just means kind of up and down. Now, it's not, you could turn the pyramid sideways and it would still be lateral edge, but generally the way we draw it, the lateral edges go up and down. AG, what is AG? This one was new. Slant height. So that's 6, that's the last option. D, AH. Height of the pyramid goes right down the center of the pyramid. That's option 2. GH. GH is the apothem. The radius goes all the way to the outside. If you drew a circle around the pentagon, it would be the radius of that circle, but the circle would not touch a G. Anyway, HG is the apothem. Which one is the apothem? 1. I think by elimination we could probably answer this one. What have we not used? FH is the radius, yeah, 4. Alright. Got all those parts in your head? Okay, number 3. Use a regular pyramid to find each missing measure. The height of a pyramid, if AG, okay. I don't know if I can draw that. I'm not going to draw the whole thing, I'll just draw the parts that we need. We're supposed to find the height of the pyramid, what line did we say was the height of the pyramid? AH. Find that height if AG is 26 and HG is 10. You guys see that in the picture? What shape is that making?
A triangle.
Yeah, and what kind of triangle is it?
A 30.
No, I don't know if it's 30, 60, 90, but I do know it's a 90 degree, a right triangle. Because the height has to go straight up. If you're measuring the height of something, you don't measure it like this. You go from the ground straight. So that would be a 90 degree. I wrote it sideways because that's how it looks in the book, but if you looked at it facing it, it would just look like a little right triangle. Okay, so it said AG is 26. That would be like the hypotenuse. And then it said HG is 10. That's like the little leg down here. And we're supposed to find the height of the pyramid. So that would be like the X right here. So what method that we've used many times? Pythagorean theorem. So how would I set it up? You say 26 squared minus 10 squared? Is that what you said? Okay. Yeah. Or you could do 10 squared, if you like it the normal way. X squared plus 10 squared equals 26 squared. That would work also. I don't know what 26 squared is. It's not in my memory bank.
676.
They say your brain remembers everything. You just can't recall it. Without so there are a few people who can. They remember everything.
I wish I had.
I think they call it eidetic memory. But if you remember everything, that means you remember all the bad stuff as well as all the good stuff. Some things you'd probably rather forget.
Yep.
Plus, yeah. Okay, anyway, what did that come out as? 24. So we used a right triangle. I'm pretty sure all those 2, 3, and 4, you have to use a similar trick. Those right triangles in the middle of the pyramid. Okay, number 5, we're actually finding the lateral areas and total surface area. So we need those formulas from before. Number 5. Okay, can you find in your notes, what's the lateral area for a cone?
Length plus, no.
It's a really short one.
Length plus base.
C
I never wrote CH down. Lateral surface area for a cone? IRL? Right here?
Yeah.
Well, I wrote it in a different order, but CH. I did see the book wrote that. But that's for a cylinder. C stands for circumference, by the way. So anyway. Okay, so the R on number 5 is 9, and the L is the slant height is 12. 9 times 12 is 108. And I'm not going to touch the pi unless they tell me to. So 108 pi centimeters squared. I'll put this. Okay. What do we have to do? What else needs to be included to find the total surface area? What are we missing? We've got the lateral area, which is like around the cone. So what are we missing besides around the cone? The base. And what is the base?
Pi r squared.
Yes, it's a circle. So what we're missing is pi r squared. So I'm not sure I wrote this one down, but so the base area is pi r squared. The lateral area is pi r L. I know I wrote those two down. The total area would just be that plus that. Just add the two together. We already did this part. So we're just missing the base, pi r squared. What was the R? 9 squared. Okay, so if you have 108 pi plus 9 squared is 81 pi, you can add those together. I'm not going to change, they're like terms. So it is 189 pi centimeters squared. So that's the two answers. That kind of makes sense. Hopefully. Number 7. Okay, same thing. They just did not draw the picture for us. So we're going to use the same formulas. So pi r L for lateral area. The R is 5 and the slant height is 6. So 5 times 6 times pi. So it's 30 pi inches squared. Okay, that's the lateral area of the cone. What am I missing to find the total area? The circular base, pi r squared. And the R, the radius, was 5. So I'm going to take my answer from the lateral area plus 5 squared, pi r squared. 5 squared times pi. So it's 55 pi. Let's go ahead and show a little bit of work. Like, you don't have to show everything, but what, 5 times 6 pi, that's enough. Number 9. Find a lateral surface area and surface area of each regular pyramid. So the same thing, it's just, this is pyramids. Can you find in your notes, what is the lateral surface area of a pyramid? Exactly. 1/2 perimeter slant height. And slant height, I used a cursive L, they used a normal L. Like a lowercase L, so it's kind of confusing. But, and then, how do we find the total area? Yeah, whatever the base is. So this could look like a lot of things, depending on what the base is. So, but just this part is the lateral area, so that's our first part. 1/2 perimeter times slant height. How would we find the perimeter on number 9? Perimeter of the base. These are all regular bases. That means the base is a square on number 9. So how would we find the perimeter of that square? Well, 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24. What's the easier way to do it? 24 times 4. So I'll just go ahead and write that down for without actually doing it yet. And what's the slant height on number 9? 15. So that'll give us our first answer. I'm not going to do that in my head. 720. Okay, what are we missing to find the total area? Add the base area. How do we find the area of that base? It's a square. How do we find the area of a square? Base times height, which are identical, right? So it's just 24 times 24. Is it like 576? Yeah, didn't we do this kind of on an earlier problem when we did square root of 576 is 24? Pretty sure that's right. So looks like it's 1296. Okay, so number 11, starting with the slant height. Again, the formula is 1/2 perimeter times slant height, lateral area. We're starting with the lateral area. So the perimeter, how could we find the perimeter on number 11? It's a pentagon with sides 5. So what would the perimeter be? 5 plus 5 plus 5. Perimeter means the distance around. Somehow you guys need to get in your head what's the difference between perimeter and area. Perimeter is how far, if we walked around it, how far would we walk? Okay, area is how many squares fit inside the thing. That's where we do all the multiplying, like base times height and all that stuff, or 1/2 of Possum perimeter. But the perimeter is just the outside. So if there's a pentagon with sides 5, the perimeter is 5 plus 5 plus 5, or 5 times 5. Remember I tried to give you guys the army thing, but I don't know. Maybe you guys haven't watched enough war movies for that to sound familiar. Have you guys heard that term in a war movie? Scan the perimeter. No? Okay, slant height on number 11 is 10, I think, right? Yep. So this will give us 250 divided by 2. That's the lateral area. I don't know, war movies usually have a lot of violence. You guys watch violent movies like Saving Private Ryan? No. They usually like to be realistic.
Keep frozen.
It's about the same thing. Pretty close. Okay. We need the base area. So we got the lateral area, so we just need to add on the area of the base. So the lateral area was 125. How do I find the area of this pentagon base? let's see, the apothem is 3.4. So it's 1/2 times apothem times perimeter. Remember earlier we said the perimeter was 25. So, oh gosh, I don't know what that is. 1/2, 3.4 times 25. 1/2 apothem perimeter, that's what I did. And let's see what comes out in the end. I know that one. 167.5. Last one. Okay, this is the same thing. It's just they didn't draw a picture for us. Slant height is 12. And nonagonal base. What's a nonagon? 9. I don't want to try and draw that. It would be ugly, I'm pretty sure. About octagon is about as high as I can go. Okay, anyway. The formula, 1/2 perimeter slant height, same thing. So 1/2 times the perimeter. So each side of the nonagon is 1 meter. So what would the perimeter of the nonagon have to be?
Wait, sorry, no.
Each side of the nonagon is 1 meter. What would the perimeter have to be? 9. 9 sides, 1 each. The perimeter is 9. And the slant height, they tell us, is 9. So it's like 81 divided by 2. 40.5. Wait, something's wrong. Oh, the slant height was 12. Sorry, I looked at the wrong place. My bad. Okay, slant height is 12. It's 54. Meters squared. Okay, that's the slant height, or sorry, the lateral area. To get the total area, we need to add on the area of the base. So I'm going to, again, they tell us the apothem is, they tell us 1.4. So I'm going to use 1/2 times apothem times perimeter. I think that one comes out to 6.3. So it's area of the lateral surfaces plus